Sparking Zero has been one of the greatest Dragon Ball games to have ever released to us these past 17 years. Now, while I've seen to have developed an addiction to improving in this game, could be just a competitive fighting game mindset in me, but I see so many defensive videos out there not speaking about the one important tool to me that is overlooked in these guides: neutral. Now, I'm sure you're scratching your head going, neutral? There's no neutral in a game like this. There is, in fact, neutral in this game. For those that don't know what that is, let me break it down to you. In fighting games, neutral mainly refers to where both players are jockeying for position. Neither player is like locked in combos or block strings. It's all about controlling space and making calculated decisions to gain the upper hand. So you will see this unspoken dance between two players trying to start their offense, getting that window of opportunity. You will see this very common in games like Street Fighter, for example. Watch how much space each player is willing to give to get that small opening to get things going, doing that song and dance, as you will. Neutral in Sparking Zero works a bit differently due to the high mobility, range, and the unique presence of Ki Blast. Ki Blast adds an extra layer to the neutral game by allowing players to control space from a distance, forcing their opponents to react. Think about it. Ki Blasts are the cornerstone of neutral in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, in my honest opinion. You can think of them like pokes in a traditional fighting game, except they happen at a longer range. The key here is not to just throw them out mindlessly and drain all your meter, but to control space and force your opponent to respond. Ki Blasts create pressure without you having to be in your opponent's face, allowing you to dictate the pace of the fight. Even if they do Z-Dash, you can bait them into that situation and respond with a hard punish. Notice how, after throwing a couple of Ki Blasts, you can force your opponent to block, dodge, or deflect. This gives you a moment to either advance, maintain distance, or even bait your opponent into making a mistake. You can even charge a Ki Blast, and depending on your character that you're using, if it's a slow moving one, you can sit there and just Z-Dash right behind them while your Ki Blast is already approaching them, and they're going to have to decide: either block an attack from you and get hit by the Ki Blast that's coming right behind them, giving you a window of opportunity to just sit there and retaliate once again. The key to mastering this is understanding spacing, where you and your opponent are positioned towards each other. Ki Blasts allow you to adjust that space constantly. Too close, and you're open to a fast Z counter, revenge counters, vanishes, all the 9 yards. Too far, and your opponent has really nothing to worry about if you don't have the resources to use fast hitting ultimates that's beam based, or something that can really chase them. Finding that sweet spot in the mid range is where I feel the magic happens. But it's not just about spamming Ki Blasts. Don't think about it in this way. Like in any fighting game, mind games are crucial. Sometimes, you don't even realize you're doing mind games while you're playing. Simply charging a Ki Blast or feinting an attack can force your opponent into a defensive position, allowing you to advance or reposition yourself for a stronger offensive situation. Like example, so you and your opponent are far away from each other. That brief moment, both of you may have the instinct to Ki charge. Throw a Ki Blast out and see how they react to you stopping them. Do they go back into it or try to throw something back at you? You never really thought about this, huh? You instantly just see them Ki charging and, okay, I'm gonna throw a couple of Ki Blasts and just see what they do. This is where the mind games start to develop. You can simply, in that brief moment, throw out some Ki Blasts and Z-Dash behind them and catch them off guard to start your offense. This is why it's so important to look at it and see if they're cautious of it or not. If they are, that's your window to switch to offense. If they're aggressive to approach you after throwing a couple of ki blasts, you can punish them with rush attacks, vanishes, or your supers that track. Movement is another essential aspect of neutral, and the beauty of this game is that you can mix ki blasts with advanced movement techniques like dashing, z-dashing, vanishing, and teleporting. So use ki blasts to cover your approach to retreat safely, dash forward while throwing a couple of blasts to pressure your opponent, or bait them by backing off and waiting for them to make a move. A well-timed teleport after a ki blast can even catch your opponent off guard, leading to a good situation on your end. Neutral and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero revolves around ki blasts, but it's also about movement, positioning, and outthinking your opponent. By understanding how to use ki blasts not just offensively, but strategically, you'll pretty much control the pace of the fight, not only just having your defense up, but if you also have this ki blast aspect down, you can sit there and force mistakes and open up opportunities for some big damage coming your way. If you enjoyed the video and like to see more Sparking Zero talks like this, let me know in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, y'all.
The study of Kung Fu fighting is ongoing. Don't ever hope to master all of them. So be careful.